Tomorrow, one of the most important celestial events is set to take place. And it is going to impact all of us out there. And I'll be quite honest, it has a pretty serious tone to it. Because Saturn, the planet of responsibility, maturity, time, mastery, let's add patience in there too, is going to be lit up in the sky and aligning with the sun, in the heart of the sun, in a conversation known as a cazimi. For you see, anytime the sun conjuncts Saturn in any sign actually, or the sun conjuncts any planet, that planet goes through a rebirth process. And in this case, Saturn is no different. So when it comes to our discipline, our responsibilities, our sense of patience and self-mastery, we are all going to experience a moment of profound realization of where we have been slacking and where we've been on our P's and Q's. I'm Kian the one with the sun. Today the sun shines at 20 degrees Pisces. Guys, we are 10 days away from the biggest rebirth possible. The biggest rebirth that we are going to experience in our personal lives, collectively, even nature at large is going to experience this rebirth. And this rebirth is simply coming back to self. Right? Pisces is a sign of dissolution. Right? It is the sign of endings. Things are coming to a closure so that by the time spring comes around, we can be reborn. I'm telling you guys, this whole January 1st thing, scratch that. You guys need to join the natural flow and order of the universe and do your New Year's resolutions on the actual New Year's, aka spring, where everything is reborn. Everything comes back to life. Let me make sure this is good. May have to go in the back for this one. But anyways, tomorrow the sun and Saturn join together in a conversation that is called a conjunction. And whenever any planet joins the sun, as I said previously, that planet goes through a rebirth process. And this rebirth process has to do with our sense of discipline. Look at those California plates. Our sense of timing, our ability to go the long haul. Tomorrow, these themes are going to be lit up. We're going to see where we have been slacking and where we have actually exercised self-mastery, self-discipline. Shout out to Tyson Dela Cruz and Wild Bill 419. Yo, 419. What is that? That is you're a late Aries. Whoa. Damn. Probably like a 29 degrees Aries baby. Wow. That's like the height of Aries energy, which is beautiful. So, whenever this conjunction happens, there's a reset in our ability to see the long-term vision, right? Saturn is literally the planet of time. It is in the sign of Pisces, which represents our dreams. It represents illusions. It represents endings. It represents all things transcendent and spiritual, including the arts and any kind of mystical or meditative practice. And when the sun joins Saturn once a year, this happens once a year, a new cycle in our self-mastery officially begins. Give me 1 second. We need to step outside. It's beautiful. Yo, shout out to daylight savings time. It is actually an incredible time right now. Because guess what? The time has officially been put forward. Shout out to Wild Bill. He said the cusp of power. Yeah, that's kind of intense. The 29 degrees Aries. That's a massive concentration of Aries energy. So let's go back to what we were talking about. And Tyson said stuff already shaking like Kevin Bacon. Amen. It really is. So tomorrow be particularly present. There's two things that are happening tomorrow on the 11th of March. Venus and Mercury are going to join together. I feel like some people are going to have a conversation regarding matters of love, self-worth / values, and finances. Okay, and it's in the sign of Aries, so it's like a really headstrong, individualistic conversation that is being had. And then at the same time, we have Saturn and the sun joining together. Like there's just a sense of honesty in the air, whether it's with ourselves or with other people. And with the sense of honesty, just exercise your self-mastery, okay? Exercise your ability to set boundaries, because Saturn is the planet that rules boundaries. When we come to make our dreams into reality, okay, when we come to free ourselves from the current circumstances that we are in, we have to submit to some sort of discipline, which is a huge Saturnian theme. And being that Saturn is in Pisces, like this has to do with our dreams, right? Saturn doesn't really like water signs because Saturn is more about discipline and structure and the practical, like all earthly matters. Whereas Pisces is otherworldly. It's like beyond this world, right? So Saturn has a little bit of a hard time, but being that the sun is joining Saturn in this really etheric sign of Pisces, Saturn is going to be reborn with this new sense of purpose. This new sense of purpose, right? Saturn, again, rules our responsibilities. What we are here to do, our public honor, how we plan on showing up for ourselves and others. Not just today, not just tomorrow, not just next week, but for the long haul, as Saturn is the ruler of time. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's just this rebirth moment for some of us out there tomorrow. It may come as a sobering realization to some. Maybe to others, it might be a readjustment of attitude, because we're an immutable sign, Pisces. This has to do with our attitude and how we process perspectives. And Pisces, like I said, is it's a very etheric sign. It has to do with like our beliefs beyond the mundane reality, right? The opposite of Pisces is Virgo, which represents the day-to-day, the mundane reality. But Pisces transcends all that. So there might be this readjustment in attitude, but whatever it is that we receive tomorrow, it is, one, the beginning of a cycle, of a year-long cycle, and two, it is for the long haul. Whatever is going to be revealed to us is going to be something that we will implement for the foreseeable future, as Saturn is the ruler of time. Saturn is so patient, right? When you think about self-mastery, we're not hurrying to get to a particular result or outcome, but we are taking our time and relying on our integrity to build brick by brick. Because if you don't have a solid foundation, the whole building could crumble at the sight of one earthquake. Saturnian people, I noticed Wild Bill said Saturn in the first house. Saturnian people tend to become successful later in life. Why is that? Because Saturn's influence does not allow you to break beyond certain limitations, and Saturn rules success through limitations. So it's not like, oh, why is it not happening fast enough, and why can't it happen faster? I want this to go, I want to break through these limitations and whatever. But Saturn builds one step at a time. And this is the wisdom. This is the archetype of the wisdom of Saturn. That's why whatever Saturn aspects, wherever Saturn is in your birth chart, whatever Saturn aspects in your chart, your birth chart, it has the potential for something that will be long term, because it is brick by brick by brick, and it's so solid, it's unshakable. You cannot destroy what Saturn endures. You cannot destroy what Saturn builds. It's very difficult. I mean, you could try, but it is difficult to do so. So, I'm excited for tomorrow. And Saturn is in Capricorn. Yeah. So my Saturn is in Aquarius, right? Saturn rules Capricorn naturally, and then Aquarius. And for me, my 20s was just tough. It was like all I did was work. And after I turned 30, everything kind of started to give way. I was so grateful for my apprenticeship. My entire 20s felt like an apprenticeship with the influence of Saturn. Now, I am a Capricorn rising. So with that Capricorn rising, that influence of Saturn is very much there, very much potent. So, yeah, I'm basically Saturnian. And shout out Saturn, for real. So, tomorrow, whatever realizations that we come across, I have faith for all of us out there that it is going to be either a shift in perspective or belief that is going to be abiding. It's a realization that is not easily going to just come and go. Have you ever had those realizations wherein it's so profound, but then the next day you wake up and it's almost like it never even happened. And that is exactly how it is. That's exactly how it works with Saturn. Saturn takes time. I'm at the office right now. We had some peeps come in, so I had to jet to my car. Tyson Dela Cruz says Scorpio rising here. So And Wild Bill, feel free to drop your rising sign here as well. But Scorpio rising, this is happening in your fifth house. Okay. Yep, it's happening in your fifth house of creativity, of children, of your inner child as well. Saturn in the fifth house can be a little difficult, like its transit in the fifth house, because you're kind of, it feels like you're not having as much fun as you could. And it's difficult, but tomorrow might be a nice realization, like something may click tomorrow, because you might realize maybe it was a belief, maybe it was a certain perspective or attitude that suddenly becomes very apparent and in your face. So, and by 2026 though, Saturn is going to leave your fifth house, and you're going to feel a lot lighter in your heart. Or this might be a time where you're getting very serious about a creative project. If you're a Scorpio rising, and you might see some sort of like long-term vision for it tomorrow. If you're a Capricorn rising like me, this is in your third house. Okay, I like to associate the third house with social media, with your associates, with short distance travel, your car as well, or like a vehicle or mode of transportation. Your associates, like I said, your coworkers. I think that's a really good theme as well. Also, it might be like short-term courses, something that has to do with like some quick bit of learning, a class, a quick course, a quick class that you're going to take. Ultimately, though, I feel like the third house is a house of perspective. So something like third house is Gemini, right? So third house perspective, like something may shift in your perspective. And shout out to Wild Bill, because I feel like I'm reading myself too, because I'm a Capricorn rising. So there might be this realization in perspective, right? It's either like, okay, I've been doing it, let's double, triple, quadruple down on this, and let's go for the long haul. Or it could be, okay, something's got to give. I got to like really change my perspective on this, and then I could see a greater result coming forth. It's like an attitude. It feels like some sort of big attitude shift as well to me. And so, yeah, so Capricorn risings, that's what's gonna go down for y'all. But that's pretty exciting. That is pretty exciting. Oh, just bought a motorhome. There you go. That's cool. You might just realize like, oh, like there might be like this realization of like maybe you want to do stuff to it as well. That's really cool. Thanks for the definitely congrats, and thanks for the context, because definitely like this is good. Shout out to Wild Bill, because I got a new car as well. And maybe tomorrow's the day wherein I register it. I think that's what's going to happen. So shout out to Wild Bill. You helped me. You helped me there. But yeah, so let's go back to this whole Saturn-Sun conjunction. And like I said, Venus and Mercury are going to meet in the sky as well. Venus is currently retrograde right now. And with Venus retrograde meeting Mercury in the sky, I feel like there might be words that have previously been unspoken, maybe brought forth. Like I said, when it comes to any kind of relationship, because Venus rules relationships, or when it comes to anything regarding finances, also your own sense of self-worth. Like you might like seriously like say something that comes from this deep sense of self-worth, but we have to be careful, okay? Because Venus in Aries is in her detriment. Venus does not like to be in Aries. It is far away from home, far away from rulership, right? Because Venus is naturally ruled by Libra. But nonetheless, guys, I'm excited because Saturn rules my chart, and I don't know, it's nice. Like I think it's going to be good because, especially if you're a Capricorn rising, you know. Tyson said, thank you, brother, for this. Salute, my brother. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. And Wild Bill said, Libra moon here. My wife is Taurus. Yo, shout out Taurus. Taurus is so chill. I've like had this interesting experience wherein I would date women who are on the Scorpio Taurus axes. And yeah, there's a big difference between the two. I'll say that. Taurus is super down to earth, just incredible. Like all about the money, all about the comforts and sensual pleasures of life. So shout out to my Taurus peeps. So on March 11th, 2025, Saturn and the Sun will meet in the sky for their annual reunion, their annual alignment in the sign of Pisces, which is a sign that rules our dreams, fantasies, illusions, endings, our spirituality, our artistic side. And being that planet, that Saturn is a planet that rules longevity, mastery, discipline. These are the themes that are going to be highlighted and subsequently reborn, so that we may be on the road to greater mastery and self-discipline. Like I said, this has to do with making our dreams come true. Again, Pisces being the sign of dreams, Saturn being a planet that has to do with practicality. Like, how can we make our dreams come true? Not just dream our dreams, but the exact process. And this process is a slow one. It is not an overnight success. It is brick by brick by brick, until we build a foundation solid enough and an edifice solid enough that it can house our dreams for many, many years to come. And the sun is just going to highlight this. So if you're on the right track, it's going to be clear as day. And if you're not, the same thing. It will be clear what you need to do. For some people, it might be a little difficult pill to swallow, but I'm betting it's not you. Anyways, in the matters of the Sun conjunct Saturn, I have spoken. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel, to my channel, Kian the One, and have your notifications on, and join me so you don't miss a live every day, Sunday to Friday. I take Saturdays off, right? We start on Sunday we end on Friday. Saturday, Saturn's Day, we take a break. And I hope you can join me in being one with the sun. I'm Kian the One, and I'm sending you guys so much love, and I wish you guys an amazing, amazing just set of realizations and understanding, because Saturn is understanding. Tomorrow. God bless you all. And I'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys take care.